Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. Want to give you guys a heads up on a free Steam title that you can pick up right now. And we've got a lot of great Steam game deals from our friends at Green Man Gaming that we'll get to at the end of this video. So we'll get to that in a second. But first of all, the free Steam title is Caveman World Mountains of Oonga Boonga. I make this joke all the time. Alright, yo, I already see it in the comment section. Why are you recommending these free games? Alright, just, if you want to, add it to your library. If you don't. It's a free game, and guess what? It's got a mostly positive reception, 422 reviews, 71% positive. Caveman World Mountains of Oonga Boonga is a retro-inspired platformer adventure game set in a fantasy, a prehistoric time. You play as a caveman exploring various levels and overcoming physical obstacles. Levels become increasingly more difficult as you encounter enemies, obstacles, traps, and more. So you can check out that right now. From what I know, they got the caveman design from your boy. This is to accurately represent the current life that I live right now. So if you want to check out, Mush in video game form, I think you'll find exactly that in Caveman World Mountains of Oonga Boonga. That is $1.99, and I should add, I am joking. I was never contacted for the design of Caveman World Mountains of Oonga Boonga, but I would like to think, this is how I live my life. But nevertheless, you can check that out, $1.99 on that. Add it to your Steam library, and it is yours to own forever. Alright, moving on from that, we do have some Steam game deals, and let me start things off with Dishonored Complete Collection. It is 83% off for $13.60 at Green Man Gaming. You get a Steam code as well for that. Obviously, all these games, you get Steam codes with it. You redeem it directly on Steam, and then you're good to go. This includes Dishonored Definitive Edition, which also includes the DLC for Dishonored. You get Dishonored 2 and Dishonored Death of the Outsider, the standalone expansion. I'm mentioning this because I just did another playthrough after several years of Dishonored 1, and much like what I say about Deus Ex Human Revolution, because I did a playthrough of that game last year, going back and playing Dishonored 1 again makes me appreciate this game so much more. I need to go back and do another playthrough of Dishonored 2, which Dishonored 2, I didn't like quite as much from my recollection as Dishonored 1, when I played Dishonored 2 back in 2016, but I still very much like Dishonored 2. Dishonored 1 is just a remarkable game, and I come to appreciate the level design in this game so much more 13 years later from when it originally came out. Yeah, it came out in 2012, and I remember picking it up right when it came out. I actually got a PC physical copy of the game. Yeah, how about that? That's dating the game quite a bit. But nonetheless, Dishonored is one of those games that I feel like its art style has aged very gracefully. I think it looks great, but really the strength of Dishonored is the core gameplay, and the gameplay is remarkable in that you don't have these absolutely gigantic levels in Dishonored, but the depth in the design of those levels offers so much variety in how you play the game. Something I say often about Deus Ex Human Revolution as well. They're totally different games in the sense of style and aesthetic and even some of the gameplay aspects, but they have some similarities in that regard, action stealth titles. But the depth in the levels and how you can approach situations is so well done. It's one of the games that this time around, I kind of just played it how I wanted to play it and whatever, I wanted to do in a specific situation. I didn't go into the run just being like, okay, I'm going to do straight stealth. I'm going to go for a ghost run where I don't get spotted once. I didn't really want to do anything like that. I just naturally wanted to go through the game, and there were some situations where I went heavy stealth, some situations where I went the action approach, and playing on normal difficulty, it was pretty simple to get through, but I enjoyed the game so much that, man, I almost want to go back and play through the game and go for the ghost run and not get spotted. Narratively, it's quite good, and the DLC is pretty good as well in Dishonored 1, so definitely recommend Dishonored Complete Collection. I really hope that Arcane Leon will go back to Dishonored at some point. I know Deathloop was set in the Dishonored universe, but, Deathloop was something I didn't really get into, and Marvel's Blade, I'm sure it'll be alright, but, I'm not like, yo, I like the Marvel games and I like Insomniac's Marvel games, but it just seems like sometimes we just forego on these IPs we've built, and they've built, I should say. I didn't do anything, but these IPs they've built, and it's just like, yo, let's go get that Marvel bag, brother. But nonetheless, Dishonored's amazing, and I really hope they go back to it. And that's just Dishonored 1. Like I said, Dishonored 2 is great. Death of the Outsider was really solid. That is more so from my recollection. Dishonored 2 was 2016. Death of the Outsider was 2017. So quite a years off from that, but I do want to go back and play through those two at some point as well. Replay, I should say. But nonetheless, there you go with that. 1360, great deal on that. Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition is $2.46, a deal that I often go to bat for. Sleeping Dogs is incredible, and it's an awesome open world action title. Great soundtrack, great hand-to-hand combat. The narrative is quite good. And yeah, just a fantastic game that I would strongly recommend. For $2.46, no-brainer, and yeah, great title. I want a sequel. You guys know I want a sequel, but I just don't know if that is ever going to happen. I know there's been some progress made on the potential movie, but, I think the game can make a really solid transition to the big screen, but, I'm not a big movie guy, so I'm not here to talk about that. $2.46 on that. Next up, we have XCOM 2 The Collection. That is 93% off for $6.86. Great tactics title. I really enjoyed it. It had some technical issues on PC, and on consoles, for that matter, and those issues still persist on consoles, but it had some issues when it came out at launch, but a lot of that has been remedied, and overall, it's a quality tactics title that I would recommend. It can get pretty difficult, but incredibly rewarding as well, and a solid game for sure at this price point. Digimon Survive is 85% off for $8.83. I know there's been a lot of attention around Digimon Story Time Stranger, but Digimon Survive is a sleeper. I don't think it's for everyone, in the sense that a lot of this game, and I want to say like 65-70% of this game, is a visual novel. It is very narrative heavy, but I'm all about my quality narratives, and I knew that getting into the game. I have a couple friends that picked up this game, and they didn't know what they were getting themselves into, and, they were disappointed by the game because they were expecting something more in line with Digimon Story, when it isn't that. If you want a darker Digimon narrative that has almost like a horror theme going on for it as well, I think Digimon Survive is a really, really good game, and for $8.83, I think it's a great pickup. Definitely would give that a recommendation. Then lastly, we have two more expensive titles that, I wanted to mention. The first Berserker Khazan for XP members is $35.69. I loved first Berserker Khazan. I thought it was a great game. Maybe loved is a little bit of a stretch. I thought it was a really, really good game. And, it's a Souls-like action title, which obviously usually isn't up my alley, but you know what? First Berserker Khazan has an easy mode, and you damn right I played the game on the easy mode. Look, I'm never gonna be somebody that is gonna play games at a harder difficulty and is gonna tell you. I'm very open about it, and really, when it comes to the easier difficulty, I had boys, one friend in particular clowned me a lot for playing games on easy difficulty and that I was bad at games, and then at a time, it was like, all right, I was the butt of the joke, and then it was just like, okay, dude, I'm bad at video games. It's okay. I'm gonna be okay. When you actually articulate that, when we're talking about the difficulty in video games and you being bad at a game, oh, yellow paint is the sin to gaming, it's just like, dude, it's video games, okay? I'm bad at them. There are other things that maybe I'm better at than other people in life, but being bad at video games, I'll take it. Yes, I make videos online. Guess what? I guess that hasn't translated into my game playing abilities at times. I'm not gonna be this top level Elden Ring player or anything like that, although I'm playing Elden Ring right now and I'm quite enjoying it. Cheese mage build, but it is what it is. But first Berserker Khazan, I really enjoyed from an art style standpoint. I think it's great. I think the soundtrack is awesome. Narratively really didn't do anything for me, but I think the presentation of this style of this game is so strong that won me over alone, and I hope they do more within this world in this style of gameplay. I think they could find something quite good and gain in popularity and grow in popularity, I should say. $35.69 is quite pricey, but it's a game that's been holding up in price. And then Hell is Us, $27.99 on this. I've talked about this game quite a few times, but this is a game that's not for everyone, but much like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think the people that it is for, they're gonna really, really enjoy it, and it's gonna end up being one of their favorite games of the year. It's a game that drops you into this kind of semi-open world, and it's got an incredibly dark aesthetic, but complementing that dark aesthetic is the idea of you being left to your own devices. This is a game where you're left to kind of figure it out. Does it tell you what to do? Yeah, but there's no overwhelming amount of waypoint markers or things like that, and that's gonna be right up the alley of some people. While that's not my cup of tea generally, every now and again, a game like Hell is Us, I think, for me, can offer like that differing style of experience compared to everything else on the market that does have waypoint markers that do guide you throughout the game, which I prefer, generally speaking. But every now and again, if you really want to get immersed into a world, I think Hell is Us is a pretty cool game. And for $28, I do think this is a pretty good buy, given it just came out back in September, so a decent discount on that. But that is gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now, but also a free copy of Caveman World Mountains of Unga Bunga, so you can check that out, and a lot of great deals available. Dishonored, Sleeping Dogs, XCOM 2, Digimon Survive, First Berserker, Hell is Us. Links to all of those in the description box below. If you pick any of those up, I do get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. That'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.